everybody. It's Candace and Carl here, and this is the last time we're going to be here for probably...
Till the 22nd at least,
wow.
Probably the 23rd, yeah.
Because quite frankly, you get on the road tomorrow, and then it's like bam, 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 bam.
Yep. Go from Raleigh to Richmond to...
Washington,
D.C. to Atlanta. No, to
Myrtle Beach. To New York.
To New York.
To Atlanta.
To Des Moines.
Yeah.
I got that right?
You got that right.
I won't remember tomorrow. I know I just get on the plane tomorrow to go to Raleigh. So.
One step at a time.
Yes. Steve Noble show.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, I guess, is the guy that got us hooked up on there, because I'm really, really bad with this stuff. But Dave was telling me yesterday that Steve spent all day yesterday. He was on set with the new movie that's coming out about
Jeremy Camp's
Jeremy
life.
Camp, Jeremy Camp, his story. So he was on set all day with that. So I'm kind of looking forward to get some. I like Jeremy Camp's music. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I got to meet him once. He was super genuine, nice guy.
Yeah.
Really, we got to see him backstage, my wife and I, and talk with him. Super nice guy and crazy story.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a powerful story. So I look forward to that. I really am. You know, I'm encouraged that I'm seeing more and more media from a Christian perspective coming up. I personally think that's a good thing. I pray that we don't succumb to watering down just for the sake of maybe trying to, well, let me sneak them in the door or something. I really pray they keep the message strong and everything. But pray for that. I'm excited about both those things, getting to hear about that movie and to be with Mr. Steve.
Yep. So from there you go to Virginia, to the homeschool conference. We talked about that before. But one of the really cool things that's going to happen when you're there is we're going to pre-release our new Debunked coming out this month.
Yes.
And if you are signed up on our Mobile Cause subscription, our Debunked Defender, you'll get that this weekend also when we give it to the homeschool conference. But,
so when will we release that? Friday night?
Friday morning.
Friday morning.
Yeah.
So 51555 on your message system, text the message "Stay Bold," and that could be one or two words. Stay Bold, B-O-L-D.
Yeah.
And then that way you'll get that new Debunked before we send it out to the general public.
Right.
So. Yeah, do that. It's kind of interesting. It's been a few years since I was at that Virginia homeschool thing, and I'm looking forward to going back to it. It's been a while. I always wonder if I'm like a fit with the homeschool market, to be real honest with you, because I'm just kind of out there, you know. But I know I love getting in front of those kids and just talking with them, and I get to run the youth track. The first night is families. But then the rest of it is going after the youth. Yeah. So, appreciate the prayers, because they're the future.
Yeah, and what's really cool is, like you said, Billy is going to he started off on the tour, and he's going to meet you in North Carolina. You guys are going to drive up, and we're actually going to have our Debunked bus in the exhibit hall. Yeah. So people can come see the bus in the hall, and hopefully that will, in and of itself, start a lot of different
some conversations. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, we forgot the last weekend I was in Canton.
Yeah.
I was up in Canton with Faith Baptist Church. Faith Baptist Canton. Faith Baptist Canton.
Yeah, with Pastor Bedwell, right?
Yep. Pastor Barry is. They're a longtime friend. It's kind of a neat story. Those guys, I don't know if you know this, those guys were, within the first month of Reasons for Hope starting, they were one of the first churches to call us and schedule us. Cool. And so they were in Dearborn Heights for the last number of years. I can't remember, 40 years the church has been going. Pastor Barry's the second pastor. The first senior pastor who established the church just passed away within the last couple of years. But they moved out of Dearborn Heights, and I always bragged on them because that was a tough community, man. I mean, I'm telling you, every door in the homes around there in the surrounding community all had Arabic written over it. It was a very strong Muslim community. Yeah. And folks wouldn't drive in to come. They said they just weren't getting visitors, and they would go talking and stuff and witnessing, but couldn't get visitors. Boy, they moved to this new place in Canton. There were at least 4 families that were the first time there when I spoke that came up and talked with me, and they said they're getting visitors all the time. So pray for that whole team, Pastor Barry and Pastor Dan and Pastor Mike. They're really sweet folks. Yeah. The church too, super, super nice to us. I mean, just now they went the bus.
Oh, cool.
So Billy's coming up, New York, and then Lord willing, we're going to take it over to Grand Rapids and Chicago. Well, Detroit's in between
on
there.
the way. Yeah.
So we're in conversations with them now to take the bus here.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Carl, you have like a letter here, and I'm curious as to what it
I didn't tell you about it.
Because you didn't tell me.
I didn't tell you about it.
So this is going to be a surprise, and he said I might even have to read it. So.
You're going to read it because I didn't want to put my glasses on because then the glare will blind you from the lights. Yeah, it's bad. Dennis and Colleen are supporters, and prayerfully and financially they support us. But whenever they send us a gift, they always send a letter. And this one was just really nice. I thought I'd let you read it because I don't know, it's encouraging to get little notes every once in a while. So I'm going to let you read this one. I'm going to let you read that one.
So it says, Dear ones, we keep you in our prayers. Thank you for the exciting and fun updates. Love that video update, Carl.
That's why we're going to do one again.
The work you do is so important to the kingdom of God. How our society has changed within my lifetime. But when I study our culture, the things that are embraced today were alive and being pushed in the 1920s, 1930s, and by the 1970s were getting a foothold.
Yep.
Except normal America did not embrace it, and most of the time were unaware entirely. And she quotes Psalm 4:3, but know that the Lord has set apart for himself him who is godly. The Lord will hear me when I call to him. Psalm 4:3. That's you guys. So stand strong and keep up the fight against evil, your friends.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Because that's the whole team. That's not just me. That's the whole team. Because I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm just a face. Everything that gets done in Reasons for Hope is because of a whole team. You've got Nick, who is a part-time guy but is phenomenal at helping us on our video side, the YouTube side, making them look good. You know, Spanish subtitles. I mean, we're doing a lot of that stuff. Yeah. He's a guy that's making that happen. You got Dave, who is just a scheduling fanatic, man. I'm home 2 days this month. Hey, but I asked for it. I said, look, we got to go. We got to get this out.
Yeah.
This year we got to get it established because I think that bus, man, if we can get that thing going, then it's good. You got Dave. You got Billy, who's on the road right now driving to meet me tomorrow in Raleigh. He's the guy he was the whole genius behind the bus. It wasn't me. You know, I'm not going to take credit for this stuff. Billy's the guy that said, man, let's get out and engage people. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. Now, I get to be the face. I said, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't come up with that. This is the team. You got Candace has been with me for, good night, 15 years?
Yeah, I know.
15 years.
I only know because I've been married just as long.
I thought it was 20 personally, but anyway, it feels like 20. But Candace, man, I mean, honestly, when we started this, Candace came with, and I told her, I said, Candace, I don't know if I got two nickels to rub together, but we're going to go, and if you want to take a leap with me, here we go. And she came, and vitally important. I mean, the scheduling and keeping everything going, like you just can't believe the paperwork that I get that she gives me, like yesterday for leaving tomorrow. I couldn't do it. I'm telling you. Put it like this. When we started, I thought I was going to help her because she's part-time, but she works full-time. All right. And so I thought, well, I'll try and help her with a little bit of the scheduling. So people call me and I'll put it on, and then I'll just turn it over to her to try to help. I triple booked myself. Not double, triple booked. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And so I called her. I said, Candace, I triple booked myself. Can you call them and take care of it? And your response was?
No way.
So I had to call and take care of that problem. So guess what? Carl doesn't do any scheduling anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. It's like, yes, but talk to Candace.
Yeah.
You got Wade, who, my goodness, he wears about 10 different hats to make things happen. You got Eric, who's helping us part-time, coming out and doing the interview. He's really one of the best guys that I've seen at talking with people who could be hostile, but keeping it
just easy, yeah,
just keeping it real. And so he's great. And you got Bob, who's, Bob, man, that guy's just a road warrior. He's on the road like almost every weekend, going and talking. And Pastor Frank, please pray for Pastor Frank. Pastor Frank's wife, April, her father passed away, and they're having to do the funeral.
Kind of suddenly.
Yeah, it was real. It was like a boom type thing. And so So he's mainland, got to go back to Hawaii, come back to the mainland, go back to Hawaii, then he goes to Romania. So, but Pastor Frank, man, he's just got one of those hearts and one, oh my goodness. So, I mean, this whole team is like, and
Bob writing the scripts.
Bob writing the scripts, the voice, the really the genius behind Debunked. I mean, I get the credit for it, but he's the guy, man. I'm not going to lie to you. So I just love this fact that we have a good team, and Miss Colleen, Mr. Dennis, I really appreciate that letter, and I appreciate you recognizing that it is a team. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, thank you. What else? Anything else before you hit the road? Just pray.
Pray for the bus. We still need to finish the funding for the whole road trip. We got it funded up to I think we got it up to New York. I think we've got it funded up to there. So pray that if you know somebody that has like a Ford 250, that type, doesn't have to be that specific model, but that size truck, or a dealer that would work with us. I mean, of course we'd love somebody to give us one, but I understand that. But maybe a deal, because we have to rent the truck to pull that, and that's one of those major expenses. Maybe somebody has an idea on that. Pray for that. Pray for the class that Juan and I are teaching in Des Moines at Faith Baptist Bible College. That's the last thing before coming home. And again, what an opportunity, what a privilege to pour into this younger generation. That's a college credit class, and now they want us to do that every year, and possibly a couple classes a year. So a lot going on, and we are just genuinely, sincerely appreciative of your prayers and your support.
Yes, thanks so much. I was going to tell you, and this is kind of off the cuff too, but you know, today I took my kids to Kentucky Horse Park with their grandparents, and of course, we're looking through, and you're thinking, you know, this is just a horse park. It's a beautiful park. It's great. They have wonderful shows. But guess what we found in much of the videos and the signage?
That horses evolved from a groundhog.
Not evolved.
Okay.
They didn't say anything, but they did multiple times say they were millions of years old, and which was interesting. You know, a lot of times you show in the charts the question marks and everything. They didn't have any of those.
Okay.
A horse stayed a horse stayed a horse.
Really?
Yeah, but just for over millions of years. So anyway, it's everywhere. When you're going, you know, a summer trip or anything, just check out some of the signage. Check out things that you see. Talk to your kids about it. I said, hey guys, come here a minute. Look at this chart they're showing over here. And we talked about it. It doesn't have to be a big, you know, theological discussion or everything, but just take some time.
These guys. We're going to holler at these guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I mean,
engage conversation.
Great experience to go there, and but something we can learn. So.
Amen. Hey, I tell everybody this is one of our things, is that the world becomes our classroom. When you've got a biblical worldview, the entire world becomes your classroom. I don't care where you go. When you have a biblical worldview, man, it's so cool to be able to, well, this is what the world says. This is why they say it, but this is what the Word of God says. This is what we actually see. Make an informed decision. Which one is it consistent with?
Right.
I've just found that approach to be so effective.
And it's interesting because in the signage, there's really no explanation. Yeah. It's just, you know, this is how it was. And so it's like, okay, well, let's talk about this. So.
Well, then you take them to I've got on my bookcase right over there, the $75 book on horse evolution that shows the chart with all the gaps and all that sort of thing. Yeah. Because it's not that simple.
Right, exactly. But they make it seem that way.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
The textbooks do as well. And so until you start digging deeper, I mean, that's actually one, the quote that I use is something to the effect that they basically had to throw that whole thing out because what they used to think was really simple and straightforward is not simple and straightforward when it comes to the evolution of the horse. There's a lot of gaps, a lot of missing information. The one quote, the whole belief that it started with 4 toes, then it evolved 3 toes, and now they only have 1 toe. That was a teaching for years. Is quote unquote flatly fictitious. So yeah.
Anyway, pretty cool. Sorry.
Bunny trail.
Anyway, thanks everybody. And again, pray for Carl, pray for the rest of the team. We really appreciate it. Adios.
Hey everybody, Carl Kirby here. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, check out one of these other videos. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel and visit our website at rforh.com. Adios.